Snack energy.
Let's go. What's up, everyone? This is your boy Julian with Clout Finder, and I'm here with Michael Heckert, aka Heck the SNEK. How are you doing today, Heck?
Well, it's good. I'm doing great. Just got done with training, and looking forward to this podcast. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I can't complain. Everything is good over here.
Blessings, bro. And yeah, excited to have you on, man. Just to kind of give people a little background on you, you're a 29-year-old fighter. You've been in over 20 fights across different, MMA, combat, categories. You're now being sponsored by the meme coin SNEK on Cardano, coming over into like crypto fighting, and things are getting exciting. So how would you just overall describe yourself as a fighter, your journey so far, and like what brought you here to this point?
Yeah, so fighting. I've been fighting my whole life. About 11 years competing. Recently, I've been doing the bare knuckle fighting championships, and then my last one. Yeah, shout out to the SNEK community. They all got behind me and got me a spot on Crypto Fight Night out in London, England, and
Mm-hmm.
that whole week was just unreal. My first time overseas, so my first time fighting internationally in a new audience. Also, my first time boxing with the gloves on, so that was an experience in itself. Normally, I do MMA or, like I said, bare knuckle, but I really enjoyed having the gloves on. I really enjoyed the whole experience, and shout out to the snack community for getting behind me and making all this possible.
Man, awesome. So a lot of new experiences. First time boxing, first time in the UK. Where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Pittsburgh, Kansas, a small town in southeast Kansas. I moved to St. Pete, Florida about 10 years ago, and I love it. I consider this my home. St. Pete is a great place. I love Florida. The weather's beautiful, and yeah, so fighting kind of brought me here. So fighting's done a lot for me. So
Okay, awesome. So let's start with your early journey in fighting. So like you said, fighting's done a lot to you. It's brought you a lot of places. How did fighting's not the traditional career path that like most people pick for themselves. So how did like fighting find you and that begin?
yeah, so it's kind of a funny story. I was kind of a little overweight in like middle school, and
Mm.
I got bullied kind of a little bit. So I started just getting in shape. I started with jujitsu, and I actually went to some cage fights about 30 minutes out of town. First times I ever saw fights with my dad, and the guy who won the title belt that night, when they were all walking out, everything like crowd was going crazy, just like seeing all that. I was like, I want to be one of those guys. So then when I got back the next day, I went to the YMCA, and the guy that had just won the middleweight title was actually at the YMCA. So I went and just asked him if he could show me some stuff. And I think he brushed me off at the beginning, but I kept showing up. Eventually, he took me over to his gym, and I just never quit after that. I just kept going. Started doing jujitsu tournaments, and then my first fight was actually on my 18th birthday. So got right after it as soon as I legally could. Been fighting ever since. So
So jiu-jitsu was kind of like the your foot in the door of like fighting and everything like that.
yeah, jujitsu's my first love in combat sports. I love the groundwork. Currently, I'm a purple belt in jujitsu. I don't really train in the gi too often. I do a lot of no gi and MMA. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, jujitsu is my home base. That's kind of like jujitsu for me is like riding a bike. I can stay away from it as long as I need to, but the second I get back on the mats, it all kind of just comes back to me. So
Mm-hmm.
that's definitely what I revert to whenever I need to just kind of take over in a fight.
No, I feel you. Well, one, if having that level of like, I'm not like a fighter, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a professional fighter, but I did do like a year of wrestling in high school. Had a chance to like take some classes here and there. So not someone who's probably going to stand up to a professional, but have a little bit of an understanding of, fighting a little bit in itself. And so just kind of like hearing that background you have with jiu-jitsu, I know it has to be very comforting to be, to be able to go into any fight and just know at the worst case scenario, you can just kind of like just take it to the ground. And, it's like just walking into like home base for you.
Yeah, yeah, having that jujitsu base is definitely a comforting feeling. I think everybody should go do some jujitsu, learn how to defend themselves, and it's just good for you all around. Good for your mentality. If you wrestled for a year, you know all about the wrestler's mentality. Those dudes. I unfortunately didn't wrestle in high school. I started with jujitsu, but the mentality that wrestling puts inside of you and the work ethic and just discipline is unreal. So wrestling, I think, is the hardest sport on earth. I've practiced with a lot of really good guys, and yeah, I've never been put on my back so fast. So definitely shout out to anyone who sticks with wrestling, because that sport ain't no joke. And I definitely wish I would have kind of got into that when I was a kid growing up, just for the mental reasons, because wrestlers have the strongest minds that I've ever come across.
Yeah, wrestlers are definitely not a joke. I would say Muay Thai people who I've met also have like really strong mentals as well. But I think that, so you got in because you were getting bullied in 8th grade. Now that you kind of like have that experience of being like a pro fighter, and you wanted to give advice to someone coming up on like how to best defend themselves or how to prepare for like a street fight or something like that, what would you say to someone that, doesn't necessarily have that background and just wants to be able to like strap themselves in case a situation pops off?
I definitely say learn jujitsu, learn how to close the distance, kind of take someone down, and just be able to. I feel like you can just take control of the situation a lot better if you have the ground skills. Because anytime you watch a street fight, I mean, they end up on the ground eventually. Plus, with the striking, I mean, anybody can get lucky with a lucky punch. So you never know what's going to happen if you throw hands with someone. But if you know jujitsu and they don't, then you definitely have a major advantage. But I always say, anytime in the streets, if it's possible, just avoid that situation completely. Nothing good ever comes from a street fight. But if you do have to defend yourself, strike
Agree.
first, strike hard, and get away from it as quick as possible.
100% agree. And going into what your statement about like someone having jiu-jitsu and the other person not, like I had a little bit, but I had the opportunity to roll once with Hegan Machado, and like it was one of the like craziest experiences I've ever you'll appreciate this, one of the craziest experiences I've ever had, because like one, Hegan, like he's a bigger guy, like weight wise. Like I'm taller than him, but like he 200 something pounds. And so when we started getting into it, he was like the slowest guy I ever like rolled with at all. And he was just not in a rush, because I would like try something new, but like, oh, I already know what you're doing. Let me just brush that away. That was cute. And then all of a sudden, like my arm's gone. And then now I'm like, all right, let me try to get out of this. And I'm trying to get my arm back and I'm fighting him. And now my other leg is gone. And then slowly but surely, this big man is just like lying on top of me. And there's just nothing I could do about it.
Yeah, that's the thing that I love about jujitsu. Size definitely, if size plus skill definitely matters, but skill matters, I feel like, more than size. So but yeah, people can just be deceptive and they can just make you kind of just sit there and slowly make you fall into their little traps and whatnot. setting you up, pulling on one arm while they're actually looking to get the other. It's literally human chess in my mind. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I love the whole concept because it's a mental game where you got to be kind of always thinking like one step ahead of them, 3 steps ahead of them, and then at the same time they're trying to be the same way, a few steps ahead of you. So yeah, but jiu-jitsu is crazy because the amount of times I've been tapped out, choked out, everything by small females, the most innocent looking dudes that you've ever seen, uh, big guys, everything. Like jiu-jitsu taught me to never judge a book by its cover, never judge someone based off their looks, based off their size, because you never know who's been on the mats and is ready to just snap you up. So definitely jiu-jitsu is one of those sports where it's just a crazy sport.
Yeah, you need that humility. You know, you gotta leave your ego at the door when you train, because I can't imagine that, like, you know, you roll with a girl and she taps you out, like, for real, and you're like, you know what that does, if your ego's not in check, you're like, you know, oh, I'm gonna quit, or oh, I'm gonna get more aggressive than I need to be, and, you know, move out of training. And so how do you balance that? How do you think is the best way to approach it? Like balancing ego and remaining humble to, you know, put short-term losses aside so you can get to be the best you can be as a fighter.
Yeah, so for me, I learned real quick that having an ego is not going to get you anywhere far in this sport. With fighting in general, like where you're actually fighting each other, you do need a little bit of ego. But I'd say just more confidence than anything. You just got to really believe in yourself, believe that you're going to win. But as far as jujitsu, you got to leave your ego at the door. Um, yeah, because ego's never going to get you far. Trying to use like strength on smaller people, whatnot, it's just usually just get you tapped out even quicker. So everybody's always using your momentum against you, and if they're tapping you before like you get angry or get some type of way, then they're just going to tap you that much faster. Once you get angry, start tensing up, you'll start showing your moves a lot sooner, telegraphing stuff. And yeah, so for me, I've never really had an ego. I've been humble just since the beginning. That's just how I've been pretty much my whole life. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to do this stuff. And yeah, I've been checked so many times in my life. Like my ego's just been checked nonstop, repeatedly. I go to different gyms, I get different looks all the time. Recently, starting with boxing, uh, coming from MMA to boxing is a completely different world. They try to compare the sports all the time, but the footwork, the small details that boxers have compared to MMA guys is it's a completely different world. That's kind of what I've been realizing since I joined Battle Zone Boxing Gym in October to get ready for my Bareknuckle debut. And those boxers had a heyday with me in the beginning, so that was a good little ego check right there as well.
I bet. I bet. So now, you know, let's fast forward a bit to the present right now. So you just did Crypto Fight Night, first boxing you know, bout that you've ever done. What's the biggest difference between making that jump? Like, what are the different skill sets that, you know, really shine through as a boxer that, like, maybe your traditional MMA or UFC person doesn't have within their harness?
So I say the biggest thing for that jump would be the sharpness of like the footwork, the sharpness of the punches. If you kind of watch boxing, they're a lot more. Their punches are a lot more solid, a lot quicker. Uh, and whenever you can't use your takedowns, when you can't use your feet, your legs to kick, kind of to set your hands up, you just
Mhm.
gotta really focus on timing, counters, defense. If you notice in MMA, a lot of people have their hands down. Uh,
Mhm.
you do that in boxing, you're gonna get tore up. So I think it's just a lot harder to engage in boxing because you only have your two hands, so those are your only weapons. So a lot of feints, um, and you just got to have, like I said, a lot of confidence to step forward and get into that danger zone where you're exchanging punches and just be that split second faster than your opponent. But yeah, boxing is a highly like skillful sport, and that's just what I've realized over the past 6-7 months since I've been in a legit real boxing gym.
Well, you won that first boxing match. Congratulations. So you had a week in London. You won, got the first. So I don't know too much about crypto fight night, but I mean, crypto and fighting, those just sound like two things that can like go together really well. So like, let's take this from two perspectives. One, I would love to hear about just your experience from just being in London, being around, you know, the crypto fighting world and everything like that, your favorite aspects of that. And then like just what is crypto fight night, and like what are different ways that you see like fighting and like Web3 coming together in ways that, you know, most people aren't even aware of right now.
Yeah, so London, to begin with, London is a beautiful city. Like I'm talking like the buildings, everything is just beautiful. The architecture, and just how clean everything is. That's the biggest surprise for me because I don't think I saw one piece of trash on the ground. The subways, or they call it the tube over there, was spotless. I went to New York about a year ago or so, and I went down in the subways there, and it was kind of like a nightmare. Graffiti everywhere, and yeah, just the way London, the people just take care of the city is crazy. I wish we could replicate that because, like I said, there's zero graffiti on anything, zero trash. People were awesome, beautiful, beautiful place to go. Highly recommend. And Crypto Fight Night is kind of just an unreal promotion, really. Like the way they take care of the fighters, the way they just produce the whole show. They had media day, like photo shoot, interviews. The weigh-ins were crazy. They had nice setup at the weigh-ins. Had our names up in lights. Just really make you feel like you're part of something really special. Um, and they set it up so like I was Team SNEK on Cardano, and then they find a guy from a different community that's kind of got a following, and it's kind of like two crypto communities battling it out. Uh, so yeah, but Crypto Fight Night, the whole thing was just crazy. I love the whole Web3 crypto combat sports concept. I think it's just going to blow up, get even bigger because these crypto people, I mean, y'all crypto people are some insane hype men. Like y'all get hype for us fighters, and y'all love to see a good fight. So as a fighter myself, I love that. Like when there's a community like backing you and they're just like super into the fights, they're hype, they're shouting you out, they want to see you go to war. I mean, that just makes me want to fight harder. It makes me want to just win and just put on a show. So I think I did that. Got the second round knockout, and then it looks like we're gonna be doing some more crypto fights in the future. So I'm hype about that because it's just so cool interacting with all these communities. Just crazy talent of people in these communities that you just wouldn't even realize. So shout out to all the crypto brothers. Y'all are legends.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's so cool because it's kind of like mixing like professional fighting with like getting together with your bros or like your frat houses and having like that inner house competition, but it's real and it's professional on like a high level. And so I think that's gonna be like there's like because fights are all about not just the fighters but the promotions and how you get people involved in that. And there's so much room for like if you get the number one, like Nike just became, you know, thing. Imagine like Nike gets a fighter and then SNEK gets, you're SNEK's fighter, and all of a sudden, you have a new fight going on between like the meme coin communities on Cardano. I think there's so much room there. So is there anyone in like the crypto community that you want to, take a shot at now? Like, is there anyone on your list?
There's not too many people on my list. Whoever's got that crypto fight night belt, I'm always looking to take those titles. I'd love to hold one of those belts. And then I did see that while I was out there, Bit Boy, he was the main event. He went out, he did his thing. He showed a lot of heart. I doubt he'd take that fight, but Bit Boy, I'd love to throw down with you in the ring anytime. I actually fought his training partner, his best friend, Adam Charles. Shout out to Adam. He's a great dude. I could tell he came to fight. Only one person can win in a fight, though. So it was my night. But Ben, if you want to avenge your boy, get some payback, get some get back for him, then I'm here and I'll sign that contract all day. So,
all right. So wait, we're hearing this here first. So you fought Ben's fighting partner.
Yep.
Took him out in the second round, and you guys are all like the same weight class. You guys are all in like the same category.
Yep. I believe I think Ben's was at 180, 186, and yeah, that's perfect for me. I walk around right about 185, 190. So yeah, I'd love that fight.
Oh man, I don't know if Ben, I don't know if that would be good for you personally, but I would love to see it. If you got the heart to see Heck the SNEK, that would get people excited. I'm not gonna lie, that would get people excited. And so when you won the first, I saw a clip from you winning, and number one thing you said after you won was list the SNEK.
Yeah, Binance, where you at? List the SNEK. Let's go.
So for people who have no idea like what that means or what's going on, like what do you mean by that?
So we've been on a campaign, SNEK on Cardano. We've been trying to get a listing on a tier 1 like Binance for a while now. But we did a nonstop 17-day live spaces on X. Shout out to RTB for holding that down. But Binance was still ignoring us, acting like they can't hear the SNEK community. So I wanted to do that shout out live on the fight broadcast, try to get some more attention to it, because it's about time that a Cardano native token gets listed on Binance. And the SNEK community is holding it down, so they put in the work. They're an amazing group, and I think it's about time that Binance just sees what's up with the SNEK community and gives us that listing.
Yeah, I agree, and it's so crazy because like the amount of it just seems intentional at this point, where a lot of these platforms have not listed any Cardano based native tokens. And I mean, shout out to the SNEK community, for holding that 17, I think it may even went to 20 day space, where either way, it's the longest held space on Twitter and Twitter history.
Yeah.
And I mean, ever. That's crazy. Not like the longest crypto space held in Twitter history, the longest Twitter space held in Twitter history. And man, I mean, but that's the power of these meme communities. That's the power of everything that's going on. Are you just like a big meme? First off, how did you get involved with SNEK? How did they find you? How did you find them? Like, how did this marriage come to be?
So I got into Cardano probably about 2019 or so. My boy Crypto Stu, I always went to the gym with him. We always hit the weights, and he showed me this crypto coin. I didn't really know anything about it. I knew about Bitcoin, but he like showed me the app to download. Got me a little bag of ADA, and that's what started my Cardano journey. And then recently, last year, I hopped back onto X, Twitter, and started kind of looking into cryptos again. My boy Stay Winning, uh,
Dope
he
name.
actually he actually threw me the nickname Heck the SNEK after I saw a post asking if anybody was willing to go to war for the SNEK community against Kakinu, and I'm always down for a good fight. So I threw myself into the mix off rip, and it just started gaining traction. They saw that I was a bare knuckle fighter, so the SNEK community, they were all down for me representing. Unfortunately, they said I was too experienced for that fight to go against the Kakinu guy, which I thought was pretty lame because it's like you send your best, you don't send your somewhat best to go represent the community. So I consider that a forfeit on their part, but um, they did find another guy to kind of go in and fight for them. Unfortunately, he had issues with his medicals, so that fight didn't end up happening. But I found another one, so I jumped on this crypto fight night, and because I felt like I owed the SNEK community a fight, and went out there, did my thing, represented well, and hopefully, well, actually, it is leading to more crypto fight nights for Heck the SNEK. So I'll be representing SNEK on different stages, and yeah, just anywhere I can, I'm gonna throw down. So anybody wants it, hit me up. You can get it all day. I just love to fight. So these events are dope. The communities are dope, and yeah, I'll do these any day.
Absolutely. And I mean, I saw you drinking your SNEK energy earlier today. So, shout out to the SNEK community, one of the big OGs. And man, the fact that I don't know too much about how they're connecting the energy drink to the coin, but the fact that a meme coin out here went and created a entire energy drink business and is like that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that should get the Binance listing itself. Like we got real people making businesses just off of this coin in the community. So that's another cool thing. With all these communities, they're so big, people can literally start a business based off just the community. I mean, Snack Energy, they got Snack T-shirts. There's, like I said, these communities are just full of talented people. Like, so the more you interact, the more talent you find, and just the networking, the opportunity inside of these communities is huge. Like, I mean, without the Snack community, I would never be on this podcast right now. So I thank them a lot for all these opportunities, just opening doors for me. So it's amazing.
100%. And so SNEK's one meme coin. Are you just big into like meme coin culture in general, or like what type of, since you've been in like even Cardano since 2019, what's been like your overall crypto journey of what you've been paying attention to?
Yeah. So I like to just pay attention to anything kind of popular. I do try to dabble into different meme coins. I missed that big one, Nike, unfortunately. But shout out to everybody who did make bank on that. That's amazing. Uh, but yeah, I really like SNEK. I love baby SNEK. All the snacks are kind of my main bag. But I try to do some little trading on the side. I'm not too great at it, but I just try to make more so I can buy more snack, buy more baby snack, and because I believe in those communities, so I invest into communities that I believe are trying to take it to the next level. Because if they're going to be here to stay, then I believe in it. Just because, like I said, the people inside of it, they just make stuff happen.
Awesome, awesome. And when I was doing a little research on you as well, I also see that you launched your own NFT collection. Is that correct?
Yeah, we got the Heckles NFTs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do that. Just another way to kind of help raise fight camp funds. Fight camp's expensive, and fighting don't really pay the bills. So anything extra is always something I'm going to try to do. The heckles, we like to most of the funds that we raise from the heckles, we are gonna just kind of give back to the holders. Like we just did a signed. I gave away a signed glove from the fight yesterday, and then we're gonna do some T-shirt giveaways.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had an extra spot in my corner on fight night. I tried to find one of the heckles holders to be in my corner in London, but unfortunately there wasn't anybody out in that area. But just like that, like opportunities like that, for my next fight, I'll probably have the same thing. So I'll be looking for a random holder from the community to hop in the corner, get that backstage access, and be right up. I mean, there's literally no better seat in the house for to watch the fight in the corner. So I think that's a pretty cool opportunity.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, to be like right there for a fight. Wait, so are heckles still minting, or are they? You have to buy them off, JPEG store. How do you get a heckle?
Yeah, so heckles, we are still minting. We haven't minted out. They're 25 ADA or
Okay.
9,999 SNEK. You can buy it with either one. But yeah, we're hoping to mint out soon because the more we mint, the better things I can do for the holders. So.
Okay, and what's your website? I could attach it to the playbacks later, but yeah, how would where would we go to mint your heckles?
So the heckles are being minted on SaturnNFT.io. That's where you'll find the heckles collection. You can mint those right off there. It's in my bio. It's in the heckles NFT bio on X. But yeah, go mint some heckles, support the movement, and once you do, make sure you post it on X, tag me so I can follow and see which one you pulled. So
okay, and then do you have a Discord for the community where people can get together and talk and things of that nature?
yes, sir. We actually just launched the Discord 2 days ago, so we got
Oh,
the Discord
congratulations.
out. Yeah, thank you. And it's filling up, and yeah, we're gonna be doing some giveaways in the Discord. Got a lot of big things planned. So the more we mint, the faster we can put these plans into motion. So join the Discord, mint the heckles, and come kick it because I'm always in there. So
Okay, awesome. And then you are Heck the SNEK on Twitter. Is that your handle?
my handle is Michael Heckert. So at Michael Heckert. I think my profile display name is Heck, but yeah, give me a follow and I always follow back. So let's connect and show me those heckles.
Okay, so now getting back to your fighting career, you have 20 fights in the books. What are the different disciplines and I guess leagues or arenas that you've fought in so far?
So I fought MMA. That's been the majority of my fights in a bunch of different promotions: WFC, BFC, WCFL. Just a lot of local promotions around here. And then I recently signed with Bareknuckle Fighting Championships, BKFC, which is like literally the fastest growing promotion on earth right now. It's blowing up. Bareknuckle is
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, it's raw. If you love like real action, you love raw like violence, Bareknuckle is definitely something you should be watching because it doesn't get any more real than that. I've done 2 of those. The first one was super clean. Got the dude out of there again, second round TKO. They actually threw the towel in. And then
nice.
The next one after that didn't go so well. I got caught early and had some swelling on my eye. My eye shut. And unfortunately, the doctor stopped it right before the 3rd round. So took that L. Unfortunately, I was still in the fight. I was good to go. I thought I was actually winning the fight. So that was unfortunate. That was back April 12th. So just a little over 2 months later, I got that back. Got back in the win column with this fight at Crypto Fight Night, and just trying to keep the action rolling. I'm trying to get a fight lined up ASAP. I'm healthy. I didn't get touched in that fight, so yeah. And then that's that's about all I've done besides jiu-jitsu, and then I did a lot of Muay Thai, kind of like sparring, kind of smoker fights, but nothing like official on the books for Muay Thai yet. But I think we're going to be using our full set of skills in this next fight. I think it's going to be more than just hands.
Okay, awesome. So bare knuckle, the way I've been told about it is like it makes basically UFC look like it's a child's play version of like mixed martial arts in a way. Like what's the jump from going from just regular mixed martial arts to like now we're bare knuckle fighting?
Yeah, so it's definitely just it's a different world. If you've ever watched it, you start instead of starting in your corners or like against the cage, you literally start face to face. They call it toe in the line. So there's two lines, they're 12 inches apart, and each person has to put 1 foot on the line. So you start 1 foot away from each other, and then they just say go, and you start swinging. So like it says, there's literally nothing on your hands. It's just bare fists. They just wrap your wrists up, and you go to war. So those fights are intense. Getting hit bare knuckle is a different. It's a different experience. It's like someone kind of like throwing golf balls at your head, and yeah, it don't feel good, but it's just raw. I feel like it's the rawest form of combat. Everybody loves a good fist fight. So I mean, it's literally just a one-on-one bare knuckle fist fight with a giant audience, and yeah, it's the craziest thing I've ever done, but I absolutely love it. I can't wait to get back in there. Yeah, but it's not for everybody. If you don't like blood, if you don't like violence, do not sign up for bare knuckle because you're gonna get bloody. You're gonna get cut up. It just takes all it takes is one to split your face open when you don't have any gloves on. So the gloves are actually meant to protect your hands, not the other person's face or head. So they're doing a lot of studies in bare knuckle actually, where it's coming out to be a lot safer in terms of like brain damage and damage to your head, just because the amount of punches that you can throw and take is a lot lower than traditional boxing, just because your hands. So like
because you got to worry about damage to your hands, basically.
Exactly. If you punch someone in the forehead or catch them in a bad spot, your hands are toast. So you gotta be accurate. You gotta pick your shots. Yeah, there's been quite a few fights stopped just simply because someone's broken both their hands before the fight's over. So it just brings that aspect into it. So the accuracy is a lot more important. Yeah, but it's
technique.
It's just a wild sport, honestly.
So, all right. So let's say I'm like, a genie. I can, grant you any fight you want, any format you want, anywhere in the world, any audience, any stadium, and any fighter. Who would you want? What arena would you want it to be, and where would you want that fight to take place?
Oh, that's a good question. I definitely would want.
You can do multiple people too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to. I'd love to fight. I definitely want to fight bare knuckle in Dubai. That'd be sick. The opponent is there's just so many people. I mean, in terms of who I'd want to fight, I mean, the biggest name possible is always who I'm looking for. Just in terms of benefit for myself, I think I can stop anybody. I got a lot of power in my hands, so I think I got a great shot against anybody, especially bare knuckle. Like a McGregor fight, bare knuckle would be raw. A Jake Paul fight, bare knuckle. Any of these guys.
I don't know if Jake Paul would ever do a bare knuckle fight, bro.
No, I don't think he would. But there is one influencer that's been doing it, Bryce Hall, and he said he wants another one. So that's one that I would definitely we're in the same weight class. He's 1-0. I'm 1-1. That matchup would make sense in my world. So that would be sick if we could get that going in Dubai. But yeah, just so many opportunities, so many people, and of course, anybody who has the title in the welterweight class, I'm coming for it. So I got to get a few more wins before that becomes realistic. But it's definitely in the future. It's definitely coming.
Okay, awesome. And then I guess I'll two more questions. So who are some of your favorite fighters that like you model your game around, like that you take from and that you study?
So absolute number one favorite fighter is John Jones, the GOAT. I think he's the greatest fighter to ever walk the planet.
He's just a nasty dude.
Bro, he's
just a nasty
meanest, nastiest dude that walks this earth. Like, that dude has some demons in his closet, no doubt, and he lets them out in that cage. But even besides just how like just raw of a person he is, and just the raw talent on display every time he fights, I learn something every time he fights. So when he's going through all these suspensions and stuff, that's honestly just makes me super disappointed, because I want him to be active. I want to see him fight, just because I learned he just does stuff off the top of his head. You can tell, like, and he'll even say it after the fight that he's never practiced that before. It just came to him. So I love seeing that stuff. I love the creativity and just the way he mixes it all up, and he just tools people up. I mean,
right. So what are like some of the pieces of his game that like really stick out? Because like everyone would just be like, oh, John Jones, super athletic fighter. He's just bigger and stronger. But there's so much to what John Jones does. Like, what are some of the things that really sticks out to you about him as a fighter overall?
So what sticks out to me with John Jones is his distance management. He manages the distance so well. He can get in, and it doesn't matter what range. He'll fight you close range with the elbows, mixing it up, faking the takedowns, coming back up with uppercuts into spinning elbows, all that stuff against a cage. And then he'll bounce back at long range with the kicks, so all kinds of kicks. Even with the Muay Thai sweeps, like he got Cormier with when he kicked the back of his legs and pushed pushed across the chest, then head kicked him. I'm like, dog, that was dirty. It's like you just don't see that, especially in his weight class. The athleticism, the skill, but yeah, his distance management and the way he mixes all of his all the elements together. There's this one move he does where he fakes a single leg kind of knee tap and goes straight into a spinning back elbow. That's like one of my favorite setups against a cage. I try to use that in sparring all the time, and it always works because people will drop their hands to try to get those underhooks and sprawl. And when they do that, they leave their face straight open. So it's just a brilliant move. And then he starts faking that and comes up with the uppercut instead of the spinning back elbow. So he's a GOAT.
Wait, so you're saying he will fake a shoot, and then he'll do because he did the spinning back elbow off the fake before, he'll fake the shoot, fake the spinning back elbow, like say with his like left elbow, and then come back with an uppercut with his right hand or something like that?
So he doesn't necessarily fake the spinning back elbow. He'll just land that, and then the next time he fakes the takedown, instead of doing the spinning elbow, he'll just touch that opposite knee with his lead hand, and then step up with the uppercut straight up the middle. So again, if you sprawl out or you reach for the underhooks, you're just leaving that area for the uppercut to just come straight
right up the middle. Yeah. There's nothing. You're just wide open.
It's just a beautiful setup, and you see people fall for it all the time. Even when I use it, people fall for it all the time. And then after he lands that, next time he'll just go straight for that single leg and take you down.
I was about to say, then what do you do? Because he's not like you can't, like if John Jones gets his hands on you, Like, that's the crazy thing about, like, if you look at, like, the Cyril Gane fight, for example, like, that's a perfect example of, like, once he got his hands on him, you know, it took him a little while to actually bring him down to the ground, but then he got on top of him, didn't, you know, got on the cage, and then, you know, was it a guillotine or something like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
Yeah, it's just a wrap. Like
mhm,
that dude's he's just John Jones is just so long. His body type, like his frame, is so just perfect for fighting, and
mhm.
the way he just imposes his will on people, even at heavyweight, like he was just gonna get that takedown, and he just
Because he felt like it.
yeah, he just does what he wants to do with people. And Cyril
Mhm.
Garn, he made him just look like an amateur. I was like, I did not see that ending that quick. And
Because Cyril Gane is a monster, bro.
man, he
Like
makes
what
it
he did to Tua.
what?
Did you see the fight that Cyril Gane had with Tua? I could never get his last name. The guy who,
Rivasi?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that dude, Tua, he took some punishment in that fight. Those kicks to the jaw. I mean, yeah. And then to just see John Jones walk in there and just walk the dog with him, it's like, yo, this guy is something special. And
Mhm.
there's so many haters out there that won't give him his credit. But yeah, there's no competition. If John Jones is walking this planet, he's the baddest dude around. He's a goat, pound for pound. Um, like Dana says, like you can say like Islam, whatever. You can try to say he's a pound for pound, but you put those two in a room. John Jones is walking out of that room. Like there's
Well, yeah,
no
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If you put, but you know, you can't have like people say Islam, they say GSP, you know, could be, and with at least those three, if you can't even make the put them in a room argument because John Jones is just so big.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
he's just so big. He's just too big for them. So it's really more just like analyzing like where they are in their respective like weight classes. And like an Anderson Silva John Jones fight back in the day, like prime for prime would have been
that would be
that
so
that, that would be interesting.
yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
the only person.
I think even Anderson said that John Jones was like the baddest dude alive. Like I don't
Hmm.
even think Anderson probably would have taken that fight just because he's a martial artist. He's about those challenges. But I think John Jones would have had a heyday with him, just like he does with everybody. John Jones is just different, man. That length, that reach, and the creativity, plus the durability. Like John Jones shows that he can take a hit, he can give one back. Like you just, I just don't see that with anybody else. Like, and the roster of people that he's beat, like Shogun Hua at 22 years old, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think if we're talking pound for pound, although he left the UFC, so he left I think he may be Joe Rogan's favorite fighter. I always forget his real name, but Mighty Mouse.
Oh,
Like,
Demetrius Johnson,
yeah,
bro, that dude's straight out of a video game, like literally.
like I saw a video of him like in like grab a armbar while like throwing someone in midair and then catching it on the way, like while he's bringing him down.
Yeah, that suplex into that armbar, like switching literally in the air.
Hmm.
Another dude that's just like
Hmm.
you never see that, and unfortunately, like I don't know what it is, but people just did not support. Like they just didn't tune in to watch that guy. I think it was because he just mopped the floor with everybody every time they fought. Uh, but yeah, I couldn't believe that's got to be number one worst trade in UFC history when they traded Mighty Mouse for Ben Askren. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Come on, you just gave up Mighty Mouse for Ben Askren. Like Ben Askren's wrestling is, I mean, god
Right.
level, but I mean, when it comes to mixed martial arts, like Demetrius Johnson, I mean, there's literally no better than him. Like but he even says like he learns his moves from playing Xbox. Like he'll play with himself on Xbox and do different, like create new moves and then literally pull them
Try
off.
him in real life.
And I'm like, bro, that's next level. Like you're just toying with people at that point, and you're toying with the best people in the world at your weight. So now he's he's been over at has he been at ONE FC or Ryzen?
I don't know anymore, to be honest with
Been
you.
doing those hybrid fights where like 1 round's Muay Thai, 1 round's MMA.
Yeah, he did that with Butang or
Bukaw,
whatever. I forget his name. The
yeah,
kick.
he was walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the
I
leg.
would say so. We have John Jones. You know, I just threw in Demetrius. Any other people who you really study to take inspiration from with your game?
Definitely. Let's see. I really liked McGregor was a big one. I like his pull counters. The way he can, his distance management is probably the best in the UFC. That Eddie Alvarez fight where he was literally millimeters like away from Eddie's punches and then coming right back at him. I feel like he was in the Matrix in that fight. That was crazy. Hopefully he comes back, gets his stuff together, and we see some more uh, super high level performances out of him. Let's see. Another person that I really liked coming up was Vincent Henderson, Anthony Pettis. Those guys, their
Okay.
striking is next level. The Showtime kick. I mean, I always love anybody who's just kind of willing to do those crazy kicks, take those chances to become just next level. I take a lot of inspiration from that. Um, but yeah, pretty much. I know there's some other ones, but I'm kind of going blank right now.
That's cool. That's cool. I'll transition to kind of like my last question, and then as they come, as you answer, you can kind of throw it in because it's connected. So first off, I want to just clear. I don't want you to give away any secret sauce or anything that you feel like gives you a competitive advantage as a fighter, right? However, within what you can give away, let's say you're fighting, you're entering into a fight, right? And you don't know anything about the opponent. You don't know if he's a wrestler, striker, whatever. How are you approaching that fight? Like, what are you going to do to like mentally like chess him into getting into where you wanted the fight to go?
So usually I honestly don't look into my opponents all that much just because a lot of times people aren't gonna like they do a lot of the same stuff every fight, but every fight's kind of different. And I focus on me and what I do. So I always come up with my game plan of I'm gonna try to impose my will. I'm gonna do what I do best. I like to stick with the basics. So I throw straight punches, um, hard punches, straight up the middle. The fastest way from point A to B is a straight line. I like to just focus on really good technique, straight punches, and with a lot of power. I like to go for the knockouts. Out of all my fights, I've never seen a scorecard in my life, so never been to the third round. Um, I look for finishes, and sometimes that gets me in trouble. Sometimes I'm on the wrong end of it, and I get finished myself. But I'm always going for it. I want to entertain the crowd. I want to put on a show. This is the entertainment business at the end of the day. So the more entertaining, the better. But as far as my opponent's game plan, I just try to ruin it by having a better one and making them kind of play my game. So, but if they're a striker, I'm gonna take them down. If they're a ground guy, I'm gonna try to strike with them. But yeah, I try to use their weakness to my advantage and my strong points to my advantage. So
I feel that. I feel that. And so, like I said, these usually go for an hour. So I'm going to close it off with this final question. You spoke previously multiple times about the confidence you need as a fighter to get into the ring, to be able to take steps forward, impose your will. Where does your confidence as a fighter come from, and how would you recommend anyone develop this fighter type confidence in their life to approach any challenge that they have, that they need to just, stop running away from, but just conquer?
So yeah, that's a great question. I struggled with the confidence part a lot in the beginning, just because I loved fighting, I loved being there, I loved everything about it, but it's kind of like that imposter syndrome where you don't actually believe that you're qualified to be where you're at. So you just gotta really like it comes down to just putting the work in, really. So I didn't really know what a fight camp was until I got to this Battle Zone boxing gym where Coach James Battle, shout out to him, he he puts us through it. He calls it deep water. So he's always saying, "I'm gonna take you to the deep waters, but I ain't gonna drown you today. Keep your
Mm,
head above. You can still see the shore." So
mm,
uh, the more you train, the harder you train, the more you kind of like I'm saying, he pushes me to limits I didn't even think were possible. So when we're putting in that work 5, 6 days a week, sparring, just all it comes down to is putting the work in. That's where all my confidence comes from. If I have a great fight camp, oh, sorry about that. Uh, I still here?
no, I'm with you. Mhm.
Yeah. So you put the work in. That's where the confidence comes from. If you don't put the work in, you're not gonna have it. And I really just put all my faith in God. My favorite saying is "Guided by faith, I am fearless." So I repeat that in my head while I'm walking out to the arena. Uh, so yeah, gotta have faith, gotta believe in yourself, and yeah, you just gotta go in there. You gotta just throw. A lot of people lose fights because they're scared to let their hands go, let their punches go, and they just kind of freeze up. But that's definitely gonna get you beat up. So I just look at it like, hey, the worst thing that could happen is me just standing here getting beat up. So I ain't gonna let that happen. I'm gonna put my hands on you. I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna do whatever I have to win this fight. And
Mm.
the more wins you get in the training room, the more wins you get in competitions, the more confident you'll get. But yeah, if you don't believe in yourself, why would anybody else? So I'm my biggest fan. I'm my biggest believer, and that's all I need. All I need is myself believing in me, and I can beat anybody. So I put the work in. I train extremely hard. I train every day. I'm always ready for a fight. So I stay ready for any opportunity, and that's where all my confidence comes from. And like going out to London, doing that kind of going overseas and getting a victory over there, that really just solidified my belief in myself. And I mean that's kind of always been the dream, like to
Mm.
get flown out to a different country, a big arena, just to go beat someone up. Like it doesn't get any better than that if you ask me. So like
I
last week
love it.
he was like living the dream I had as a kid, and yeah, everything's just kind of coming to reality, and it just feels really good. I'm just mentally in a really good place. I got the right people around me. Um, and yeah, like doing these kind of things, just talking, getting out in front of people, that all helps with the confidence and all that stuff. So shout out to everybody that believes in me. Shout out to everybody that supports me. You guys are like 90% of that confidence as well. So
Man, amazing, amazing. And so, Heck, just thank you for, just pulling up today. Thank you for not even just, talking, but, even being vulnerable and sharing everything. Because, fighting such a, I would say, I don't want to say the word personal, but it just takes so much. You know what I mean?
yeah, fighting is the loneliest sport on earth. If you ask me, it's a lot of sacrifice and not a lot of reward. for the most part. So just talking to people like you, talking to anybody that supports fighters, stuff like that. It's a huge breath of fresh air. It feels amazing, and yeah, support your local fighters. Give them a shout out. You know, tell them that you support them. Like anytime you see them, because we don't get that too often. So anytime we do, it helps with that mental confidence and just giving ourselves a belief that we can take it to the next level.
Absolutely. So congratulations on your recent win. Congratulations on just being able to have a child like vision become a reality recently. And I just look forward to seeing the continued growth. You know, tap in with Michael at Michael Heckert, buy a heckle. And you know, we're just gonna keep this going, bro. So if you ever need anything from us, just let us know.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for having me on. Right back at you. If I can do anything to help you as well, I'm always about that. So thank you again for having me on. Clout Finder, amazing podcast. I had a great time. And yeah, just thank you, man.
No problem, bro. We're tapped in. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.